Alright, so it's another simpler video this week technically, yet this took me ages to draw. So, we obviously know I have a lot of muses. Most of them don't have reference sheets. So I decided to draw another reference sheet. But for who? Well, for Eeeee of course. Because she made more appearances than I thought in this channel, so she deserves one now. Also because Art Fight is in July and I think some people would like it if I had female characters available for them to draw, so here we are. I sped this speed paint up by a lot because I don't want this to be too long of a video. Also because I have less lore to talk about with Eeeee since I already covered it in her episode of Drawing Muses I don't normally draw. So the bulk of this video may honestly be a lot of rambling and maybe talking about some design choices. Now, I mentioned that this took a while in my intro. It's not because Eeeee has a particularly difficult design. I feel like she's simpler. Rather, let's just say I was slow on the day of recording this, and what should have maybe been a 2-hour sketch at most turned into almost 4 hours simply because I was so slow. Let's say I had motivation for more difficult videos but lacked the time because I swear I'd have to draw those 2 weeks in advance. And as you guys can probably guess, I actually have been unable to, which sucks, but oh well. But that's enough rambling about the behind the scenes for now. We're really here for the art, so I'll talk about it. Now, for Eeeee in particular, I had to really think about her alternate outfits. So she's basically an ice princess personality-wise. I figured she'd wear things that made her look elegant and maybe somewhat cute. I imagine that she mostly keeps covered up, which is actually funny if you saw the Muse Gotcha video. She wasn't as covered up as she normally would be, but I had actual lore reasons for that. I'll recap for those that didn't watch the video, but basically, she's a part of Eeeee, which is a kingdom in the sky in the hypothetical gotcha game lore. Eeeee people have wings, and for the most part, need to be light, so their clothing is very light and a bit more exposed. Also because there is a lack of threats in the sky, so there's no reason to keep completely covered up. But back to how Eeeee normally is. She stays in cold climates, so it makes sense for her usual fashion sense to have thicker layers. But I like to imagine that even if it's hot, she'll still pull up like this, which is a hilarious thought to me. She really is the polar opposite of her brother. For her alternate outfits, I actually put a surprising amount of ruffles and bows on her. I don't know, at the end of the day, I feel like she's just a girl for real. She too likes cute things, but we wouldn't expect it from her since her demeanor is much colder. Though I think her third outfit I designed for her is at least more sleek and elegant. My main inspiration for these outfits was Lolita fashion. I think you guys can definitely see it in her first outfit for the alternate reference sheet. For her third outfit, I based it off of traditional Japanese clothes. I feel like she definitely has a few of those laying around in her closet. So Eeeee is half Russian, half Japanese. I've always said just her first name, but her full name is Eeeee Fuyuki. She has a Russian mother and a Japanese father. Well, her birth father was a Japanese man, but her mother obviously left him because he was just a horrible person. The stepfather now also happens to be a Japanese man, and yeah, he is a much better person. Anyways, we're on to the line art in the speed paint. All I gotta say is, wow, it took me ages as well. You guys could tell the motivation to do line art was not there because I was extra slow. Like, wow. I normally hate line art, but I must have hated it even more while doing it here. Again, the designs weren't particularly detailed or hard in my opinion. I just lacked the motivation and the will to continue doing it. But because this is me we're talking about, I managed to push through. Obviously, I tend to just suck it up when it comes to art and push through. I love art enough to bear with it. Can't really say the same for my studies though. We don't talk about them. Obviously, the line art section for this is going to go on for a bit longer. It might be a while before you guys can finally see the flat colors. Doesn't matter though, I'll talk about them anyways. When it comes to the colors Eeeee likes to wear, it's definitely going to be darker colors to a degree. Definitely a lot of cool colors. She's not like her brother who dresses more colorfully. She hardly has anything outside of dark blues, grays, and some white and pastel blue. She thinks she looks best in cool colors, and I gotta say I disagree with her. I think she can look good in any color, but just chooses to not do it. Maybe I should stick her in a red dress one day or something. I think she'd eat it up. Alright, so we still have maybe 3-ish minutes of the video left, and let's just say I've kind of run out of things to ramble about for now. Because goddamn, that line art section is diabolically long. So, what do I ramble about now? Well, maybe future plans for this channel. I did mention in my posts tab that I might be going on a hiatus for the rest of May. This video will be posted in May, but I've obviously recorded and edited a week in advance as I always do. I think during May to August, it might be really quiet here. Oh yeah, I always recommend checking my posts tab if you subscribe to me here because that's where I put all of my updates. Let's just say I'm actually not a fan of going on a hiatus. It was kind of forced on me, because life sucks. But knowing me, I may at least find a way to post something, even if it won't be on the weekly schedule I've been doing since like October. Okay, finally we're about to get to the flat color section so I can get back to talking about art stuff. And by art stuff, I really mean shading, because I already talked about my choices for flat colors. Yeah, so if you're new to my channel, I just yap about not relevant stuff until the footage gets to a relevant point. But I will make this comment about flat colors though. They went by quick enough, and despite having a lot of layers, I think it wasn't particularly painful. Yeah, so that was a breeze. With shading, it went by really fast. So what I did was I shaded the eyes on the main reference sheet, then I copied and pasted it onto the outfit reference sheet, same with the hair. Then I did my flat colors for the clothes on both reference sheets before shading the skin on the main reference sheet and pasting it on the outfit reference sheet. So basically, all I had to do was shade the clothes on the outfit reference sheet. I know, I'm totally big-brained. Alright, so we have about a minute left of the speed paint. You guys are probably seeing me speed through the coloring and shading sections right now. Honestly, I don't have much else to ramble about. See guys, this is what happens when you expose all of your Muse lore in another video. You don't have anything to talk about in a future video. But I don't regret making that video for Eeeee though. I think I got to see her potential and have a newfound appreciation for her. Anyways, maybe I should say a few last things before I show the final reference sheets. I think slowly but surely, I should draw more reference sheets for my muses outside of my main 4. If I work on them over my hiatus, they won't be a video unless I somehow remember to record the footage. Who knows, maybe I won't actually take a hiatus and I can somehow manage to post something for you guys. You know, originally I was going to do another Muse Gotcha video, but I didn't think far enough in advance for that. Maybe next time or something. Anyways, I'm sure the speed paint is wrapping up soon, so I'll show the final reference sheets. Here are the final sheets. Hopefully you guys still enjoyed the video. I'm not sure if this is my last video before my hiatus for real or not. We'll see. In any case, whenever that next video may be, I'll see everyone then.